Check out so many clouds covering the whole sky pretty much. Interesting stuff today that I read. I guess the first one was I was reading about the new iPhone 11 to see what's new about it, and to me it was kind of amazing just to see, I guess, the camera. It has like what, 4 lenses on this thing, which I guess isn't too crazy in any way because there's some cameras again with a bunch of lenses, but they use it, I guess, in different ways. Whereas in this one you can apparently film 4 perspectives in one go, which is kind of cool. So they basically got a company to demonstrate this, one who's used to filming various scenarios in a very film-like manner, all the different angles, and it's kind of amazing just to see. Again, you can basically record every single angle there, a close-up, a wide, which apparently this camera has, like a very good wide angle, and yeah, it just makes things so much easier. That's kind of, I guess, exciting if this is the way phones and stuff are going to be. It can pretty much kind of replace a traditional point and shoot in many ways. I don't even use an iPhone, it sounds interesting to me. But the price for this thing, what is this? About $1,379 for the Pro version, $979 for the regular 11. It's very tempting, I guess, for people who want to get more into like videos and stuff like that without investing in huge camera gear, whereas this you'll use all the time. And how's this? This might actually change a lot of businesses. It says California passes landmark bill requiring contract workers to be labeled as employees. Despite objections from Uber and Lyft, Governor Gavin Newsom said he would sign a labor bill that would reshape the gig economy. California passed landmark employment legislation that challenges the business model of such gig economy companies as ride-hailing giants Uber Technologies and Lyft Inc., some of the brightest stars in Silicon Valley over the past decade. The proposed law, which intends to force companies to reclassify certain contract workers as employees, passed in a Democrat-led state assembly Wednesday with a preliminary tally of 56 in favor and 15 opposed. So that's kind of crazy if they're going to have to basically consider everyone as an employee, I guess, with certain criteria. Basically, it says they have to pass these 3 tests. That the worker is free from control and direction of the hirer in connection with the performance of the work, both under the contract for the performance of such work and, in fact, that the worker performs work that is outside the usual course of the hiring entity's business. And then the last point, it says the worker is customarily engaged in an independently established trade, occupation, or business of the same nature as the work performed for the hiring entity. So it makes me wonder with that writing, wouldn't that technically mean the person doing the gigs, like say for Uber, they can only do it for Uber? Like they couldn't use, like, say, Lyft afterwards as well? It just makes me fascinated about every other industry that has something like this, whether or not that could change everything in terms of how it's run. I know there are quite a few people nowadays that do nothing but these quote gigs as their full-time income, essentially without like the benefits and stuff, as they say. So it's kind of interesting to see this kind of evolve in that way. And the last thing I read, which is kind of interesting, which is kind of true too, where a lot of people, when they think of drones and delivery, they think of the more traditional kind, like a quadcopter, for example. But in this one here, it says the Silent Arrow is a massive glider delivery drone. It can carry up to 1,631 pounds of supplies to the battlefield. The company behind the Silent Arrow envisions the drone as a potential replacement for the Joint Precision Airdrop System, delivery method several armed forces, including the military, used to deliver battlefield supplies. Not that I would know what that is, that's like way over my head. Unless this is accurate, where it says, even if you're not familiar with the acronym, you're probably seen J-pads in action in movies and newsreels. Is it technically those boxes with the parachutes and stuff, or am I just thinking of something else? The system uses a combination of GPS and steerable parachutes to guide supplies that are dropped from an airplane to their intended destination. So I guess technically this drone could replace stuff like that, which is kind of cool. All right, see you guys later.